on the shores of Lake Erie here in the city of rock and roll. Our coverage of the NFL brings us to Huntington Bank Field. Coming up, we have a good one for you. Between the Atlanta Falcons and the Cleveland Browns.
To kick off.
Here's Harrison Mevis to get this one started. And here we go at Huntington Bank Field. This return starts at the 5. And he's brought down inside the 20 on an uneventful effort.
At their own 19-yard line.
All right, let's get this one on the road, Brock. It is 1st and 10.
Cowboy 80.
The first carry for the speedy Dylan Sampson. And he gets him about 3 yards here on the game's first offensive snap.
I don't think that's the amount that they were looking for there, Kate. Going to lead to some shuffling around here in the playbook. Find a more aggressive call on second.
Last run got him 3. Here's 2nd and 7. Setting up to throw. Throw left side, complete. Now he's past the 25. Touchdown, Cleveland! The Browns take a 6-0 lead right away. Man, this offensive season has barely begun, and they are already, Brock, celebrating in that end zone. I mean, still basically a full 17 games to go, but so far, so good.
Pay off all of that offseason work. The OTAs, the mini camps, get into preseason, training camp, all of it. And you can't do it much better than that.
Now they'll try the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Browns take a 7-0 lead as he starts this year 1 for 1. The Browns have it on the tee, and they will kick it away here. Return starts from the goal line. Only manages to get this back to the 20 before he's taken down.
At their own 20-yard line.
Atlanta about ready to go now. 1st and 10. They're going to run it here. It's for John Robinson. And he stopped quickly here. 2 yards on the play. We've got 2nd and 8.
That's the kind of yardage. It's not going to kill this drive on the first play, but it does put you a little bit behind schedule. Now 2nd down becomes critical because nobody wants a 3 and out.
Following that little 2-yard run, it's 2nd and 8. Now Penix off the play action. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Dalton Kincaid, the intended target there. So they're left facing 3rd and long. Not must-have yet, Brock, but it does feel pretty important that they come up with an answer for that touchdown, but not going to be easy.
Nope, and incompletions like that certainly won't help.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have third down here. They'll air it out on third. Pass complete to Robinson. And he's taken down after a very productive effort there, Brock, up to the 40-yard line. The big play nets him 17 yards. And that's a Falcon first down.
That's a statement throw right there. A statement throw that lets the opposing defense know it's not just going to be check down Charlie today. They're going to be willing to push the ball down the field, and this defense better respond.
First and 10, a run to Robinson. Give him a couple on that carry. Second down coming up.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Penix now. Finds his back. It's Robinson. Breaks the tackle. He's got space ahead. And he's blocked down right in the neighborhood of that 40-yard line. Give him 18 yards on that play, Brock, and it gets him a first down.
And the Falcons first down. A gain of 18 on the play. First down, Atlanta.
So fresh set of downs now from the 39. They run. It's the rookie from UCLA. Big gain, 14 on the play. And that is good enough for Atlanta first down.
I call that a table setter right there. Table setter for yourself as a team in that huddle, gaining confidence on the ground, and you know that's going to set the table for some great play action pass to come.
Quite the opening drive they put together, partner. New set of downs all the way down to the 25. Penix out first down. And the Browns get there and take him down. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
Well, we're already seeing his legs going to be a factor in this contest. But I'll tell you what, Kate, if pressure's going to be on him like that, he's going to have to put his running back cape on and really use his ability to escape and keep things moving forward.
Gonna need something special here. Second and 20 following the sack. To the air with Penix. Cut down the field. It's Pitts. And he's into the end zone for an Atlanta touchdown. The Falcons finish off their opening drive. Kyle Pitts with a touchdown. So a touchdown on the board for him, Brock, as they start this game off a perfect 1-for-1 offensively.
Yeah, I'm going to call that scripting for success right there. Can't do it much better than that. And listen, when you script these first plays, you don't always know who the targets are going to be. It's really then relying upon what the defense is trying to take away. They couldn't take away that big old tight end.
That one splits the uprights. And the Falcons tie it up as he nails his first try of the season.
To kick off.
So we've got a tie ball game now as they send this away. Return coming from the 6. And this drive will start inside the 25.
Take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Browns look just about ready, Brock. Here comes first and 10.
Cougar 19. No.
And on the ground here with Simpson. And they blow up the opening play of this drive. Love the aggressiveness from this defense.
He was taken down.
And it's not just some quarterbacks, Brock Hewitt, who got to have short memories. You tell me these two defenses need them sometime as well.
Yeah, 100%. You give up a big run, well, too bad. No time to dwell on it because you got to line up, buckle up that chin strap, and try to knock them backwards.
First play of the drive, lost a yard. Need to get it back and some change here. Second down.
Let's go now. 19 Tigers.
Back to throw now. Caught out left. And he'll go down after fighting his way to the 32.
Yeah, these in cuts maybe aren't the hardest throws from a degree of difficulty, Kate, but it does take some courage as a quarterback to throw into congested spaces, but it can pay big dividends.
Ready, ready.
Here he is on 3rd and short. He has the first over the middle. And his short game gets them a new set of downs.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
All set to go now from the 35.
Go.
First down, here's Sampson. Not the way to begin a new set of downs, Brock, as they drop him behind the line.
Stay on schedule. SOS. We talk about it all the time offensively. You've got to stay on schedule, and a run like that puts you now so far behind the sticks. Going to take some superhuman effort now on second down.
Offense to the line, second down.
Go. 18 Cardinal.
Pass play now. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Well, he connected on 3 straight before that throw, Brock. Might not be perfect anymore on this drive, but they are still moving it well.
And I don't expect that one to interrupt his progress very long. They're still on a mission this series, and he's the one driving it.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got third down.
Here we go.
Here he goes, 3rd and long. He'll put everything he's got behind it. Forces that one, and it's intercepted. And the Falcons are going to have it. And he's going to hang on to that football. That's his first career interception. I don't know what to be impressed by most, Brock. How effortless he made it look to throw it that deep, or how effortless the cover man made it look to get that far down there and haul in the interception.
How about we just marvel at both of them? You call a deep pass like that again on the next play, it could go to the end zone. But this time, it is a takeaway.
Good starting spot here for the Falcons, Brock. This is 1st and 10. Drive begins with a run. It's Robinson. And he's going to be encouraged out of bounds there with a pickup of 4. It's 2nd and 6.
You know, Kate, that might be a little bit of a disappointing run to him. He wanted more. They always do. But that's exactly what they were after offensively to get this drive moving.
We're through 1 quarter of this opening weekend of football. Scoreboard showing 7s on each side. We'll return to Huntington Bank Field after this. Back for our 2nd quarter. It's Falcons football. They start with 2nd and 6. Penix looking to pass. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And they come through the sack to bring around 3rd down.
As much as we talk about offenses wanting to stay ahead of the chains, They want to stay on script. Well, a defense, they want to rip that script up. And a sack like that, creating third and extra longs, it's exactly how you get it done.
Let's see what they went with on third down.
19 right. Let's go. Cowboys.
Third and long for him here. Lofts it deep right side. Caught just shy of the goal line. And in for the Atlanta touchdown. The Falcons parlay the interception into points. So, Brock, this offense starting to find its rhythm a bit as they finish things with a touchdown there to give them the lead.
And the key word there that you said is finish, because you want to have that mindset, even early in the game, that field goals aren't going to cut it. So that's great work to make sure they finish with 6 points.
Mevis now for the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Falcons break that tie and now lead by 7.
Round 7. Harrison Mevis to kick off.
Mevis ready to send this one away. And not liking what it looked like ahead of him there, Brock. So he... going to take a knee, and this is going to come out to the 35-yard line.
Ready, set.
The Browns, nice field position here as they start out 1st and 10.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
Back to work after throwing the pitch. Oh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. 2nd down coming up.
Even the best of them could be hurried into a throw before they're ready, and that pressure just messed up all the timing, the rhythm, and the clock of the quarterback.
Following the incompletion, we stay at the 35. It's 2nd and 10.
Ready.
Here's a throw. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line.
Part of the reason I leave you pregame, Kate, and get down to that field and watch these guys throw and catch is I want to see their timing. I want to see their anticipation. That is picture perfect right there. A crossing route thrown that quickly tells me these two are on the same page.
Cougar 19.
3rd and long. They're going to throw. That's caught for the first. And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. That play good for 17 on a 1st down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
And they're on him to send him out right before he gets to that 30-yard line. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the first.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great block in the spring of guys hitting blocks downfield, and a back who can show off his wheels.
No luck on the connection. It's incomplete. Well, no luck on his first look of the game. So 2nd down coming up. Well, even with the pick on that last drive, partner, he is showing no hesitation whatsoever.
Well, in order to play this game, Kate, at this level, you've got to be aggressive. You can't let a previous mistake really affect your next decision. But I'll say this as well. In the NFL, you throw into coverage too many times, there can be more interceptions.
He's got it at the 5. And they're going to have first and goal as he gets this down to the 4. Double coverage deal breaker for a lot of QBs, Brock, but less so when it's a target you trust.
You know, it's interesting, Kate, even 20-something years ago, watching Marvin Harrison and Peyton Manning work, every defense would go into every game trying to double cover him, but yet those two, well, like we just saw right there, just got it done regardless.
Judkins. And they love to see him fighting forward, but he only gets him 3.
Hey, I get it on first and goal, right? A lot of teams like to be conservative and limit risk. Even if a run is stopped short, you still got 2, sometimes 3 downs to play with.
The nose of the football inside the 1. Here's second and goal. He keeps it himself. And he's in for the touchdown. The Browns can tie it up in the second after cutting into the lead.
Well, I don't think that defense was ready for that kind of push at the point of attack. I think they were thinking outside run, play action, but they get gutted, and they get gutted right up the middle.
Looking to tack on the point after. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Browns tie things up at 14. Now after tying this game up, they're all set to send her away. From a couple of yards deep, this is going to come out. And in the end, he's able to get it to about the 25-yard line before he's hauled down.
At their own 25-yard line.
Falcons getting ready. Here comes first and 10.
Here we go, set. Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
They're going play fake with Penix. Wide open, downfield, got it! All the way, that's an Atlanta touchdown! The Falcons take the lead on the first play of the drive. Kyle Pitts with a touchdown. His second scoring catch of the game. And that right there, Brock, is a touchdown I think our fellow broadcaster Greg Olsen would be proud of. A big strike to the tight end that I don't think a lot of receivers could have pulled off and make it look as easy.
You know, a lot of times you're splitting hairs talking about the differences between tight ends and receivers at this level because a lot of those guys, they work the same route tree and they move with the football, well, just like their receiver teammates. And they can score some lengthy touchdowns too, just like he showed off.
Harrison Mevis to kick off.
Mevis ready to send this one away. Has this at the 6. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20.
First and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Cleveland about ready to go. Here's first and 10.
Go! 60 by 6, 60, let go.
Here's Judkins to begin the drive. Makes the tackle. And he's going to be stopped right around the 37. It's a great pickup, 16 yards, and now they've got first down.
A run like that, Kate, it just gives everybody a little bit more bounce offensively because you also know you can set the table for more.
Big play to begin the drive. That's up to the 37.
Here we go, stop. Hawk 70, Hawk 19, Tiger, 19, Tiger. 60 by 6, 60 by 6. Ready.
First down, and they go right back to it. We'll have him gain up about a handful there. A.J. Terrell making that stop.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook.
First down run, nabs him 5. Now 2nd and 5.
70 Timberwolves. 19 Tiger. 19 Tiger.
So after plenty of scoring already, we have reached the 2-minute warning. Hang with us. More football in Huntington Bank on its way. Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5.
60 Eagles. 60 Cougar 19. Ready, right?
Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Pass him on the quick hitter. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first.
Move the chain! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum. Keep that defense on its heels.
1st and 10 now from the 46. He's dropping back to throw. Forced out to his right. No one open on that play, so he's going to chuck this to another county.
Kate, I got to believe he hearkened back to that earlier pick and thought the better of making another. Getting outside the pocket, he was either going to try to run for it, had nowhere to go, so he simply threw it away.
After the incomplete pass, here comes 2nd and 10.
Viking 18. Ready.
Dropping back to throw. Connects on the crosser. And he's going to take this one in for the Cleveland touchdown. The Browns earn the chance to tie before halftime.
Quarterback, receiver, yeah, they'll get the credit. Those numbers and those stats, they're theirs. But that play happens, Kate, because the big guys up front give them enough time to make it happen. From one side of the field to the other, bingo.
Extra point attempt coming up. The point after splits the uprights. And the Browns tie this game at 21. So we've got a tie ball game now as they send this away. Return starts from the goal line. And he's brought down inside the 20 on an uneventful effort.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Offense into the shotgun set as they line this up. 1st and 10. Here's Penix. Now trying to set up the screen. Here's Robinson. Still motoring past the 30. And they're going to force him out just before he can get to the 35. The end result there, 15 yards and a first.
To this day, I can still see the faces of the big guys in the huddle. When you call a screen like that, instead of them just getting knocked backwards, they get to be salesmen. They get to push those linemen downfield and then tee off and go hit somebody like they did right there.
So they'll head up here, 1st and 10 from the 34. Penix working from the gun. That one's complete over the middle. And they're going to bring him down just a moment before he's able to break it across midfield. They pick up 14 yards on that one. And that's a Falcon 1st down.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend? Do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
Football's on the 48. Here we go. 1st down. From the shotgun, Penix. Now his first real mistake. That's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Watson. And the Browns will take over as he records his first interception of our season.
Intercepted. The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line.
Nice field position here for the Browns as they start out 1st and 10.
Let's go now.
Working now from the gun. Ooh, puts some air under this one, right side. And they took their shots, but unsuccessful on that 1st down throw, swatted away by the defense.
You know, it's one thing to tell a quarterback not to telegraph a pass. It's quite another to fundamentally do the right things. You got to use your eyes to move defenders in this league, especially on your primary target.
Bronco 80. Ready.
And they're going to throw out of the gun. And he just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down.
Incomplete.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
Ready.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down.
Ready.
To the air on 3rd and long. Oh, he put everything he had into that throw. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. His first target doesn't lead to his first catch. And they're going to be stuck with a 4th and long. The Browns are lined up to punt. And no doubt he wants to get his season started with a good one here. Brings it in at the 12. And this return's going to leave him with enough time for definitely 2, maybe even 3 plays before halftime.
At their own 24-yard line.
Beginning a new drive here, but just 16 seconds to go before halftime. Penix now on 1st down. Incomplete pass, and we're down to 12 seconds remaining. No luck on the look to his back. And now it's 2nd down.
As a quarterback, you love when that screen pass is called. At least I used to. And you want to attract that defense and all those guys coming after you. But you also got to find a throwing lane, and he couldn't do it on that one.
From the 24 once again, it's 2nd and 10. Penix here from the gun. Hits his running back. And he will have this across that 40-yard line before they manage to stop him. You get a timeout. 8 seconds remaining before halftime.
You just got to love that angle route. It's been around a long time, but think about it defensively, Kate. How many times do you see the backs out of the backfield or just run to the flat? The great running backs know how to plant their foot, sell that flat route, break it off to an angle, and break off a 1st down.
Back to throw it. They don't connect there, and now just 3 seconds showing on the clock. That throw is looking for Kyle Pitts. And we'll see what they do here on 2nd down.
Okay, this defense finally said enough, ripped up that script. They have seen him be way too productive. Time to start fighting him for every single throw.
All right, this is going to be the play that takes us to halftime. Looking to throw. He's going to try to drop it in deep right. At the goal line. And somehow they've reached the end zone with no time remaining in the half.
A receiver this skilled, well, he's got every route in his back pocket. But sometimes simple is better. No complicated cuts, no double moves. You just go run right by him.
Levis now for the extra point. And his kick is good. What an ending to our opening half as they take the lead. So we're through 2 quarters now, still a half of football to be played. We'll be back with more of the NFL on EA Sports. Well, if you love high-scoring games, no doubt you have been glued to your television so far. And no signs of slowing down as we begin our second half. And he's walloped just as he gets across the 25. What a hit. He's down shy of the 30.
27-yard line.
Atlanta about ready to go now. 1st and 10. Starting the half with Robinson. And this drive's quickly headed in the wrong direction. First play set down behind the line. Their dominance against his ground game rolls on, Brock. Add another stop to what's going to be some real nice film for them to watch.
How many times do you think in your lifetime, Kate, you've heard from a defensive coordinator, job number 1 is?
Stop the run.
And they've been doing it.
To the air with Penix. He's going deep this time. He's got it inside the 25. They rip off a huge chunk of field as the downs reset.
The analytics are pretty clear. It's hard to move the ball in this league with short little dinks and dunks. You've got to get the explosive chunk. You got to get the big play. And that throw to the outside, that gets the job done.
So a massive gain, and all of a sudden, we've got 1st and 10 inside the red zone.
Check. Let's go now. 60 Eagles. 60 Eagles.
And the receiver's going to take this one on the jet sweep. And he's in. It's an Atlanta touchdown. The Falcons grow the lead coming out of halftime. Well, partner, with the increased focus on receivers now in the ground game, the jet sweep, it's a weapon all 32 teams and coaches have to rely on for offense. And for the good ones, it can be a lucrative play to have ready, too.
Yeah, lucrative on the scoreboard, certainly, Kate. And don't forget about lucrative for the wallet, too. Next time his agent's at the negotiating table, he's going to be sure to bring plays up like that one. And mention the value he could bring beyond the work of just catching the football.
That one right down the middle. And the Falcons double their lead to 14.
21. Harrison Mevis to kick off.
Mevis ready to send this one away. He's going to field this at the 2. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20.
Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Okay, ready?
Offense to the line. They're going to have trips right to start out.
Here we go. Here we go. Cowboy 8. 60 Bison. 60 Bison. Ready, ready?
Here's Judkins on 1st down. Doesn't get much beyond the line, a yard at most. That was Xavier Watts getting in there defensively.
This offense is now left with some ground to make up a little bit here on 2nd down. After that drive starts, the very minimal gain.
Last run, not a lot of help, Brock. 9 to go now on 2nd down.
Let's go now. Ready?
Off the play fake, he'll throw. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
A 7-yard loss.
It's pretty impressive, isn't it? They built this type of lead for themselves because that's actually, Kate, their first sack of the game. And that's why smart front offices and complete teams build a well-rounded roster. That way, if a core component like the pass rush today isn't there, well, the other areas of the team pick each other up.
Gotta figure out this 3rd down here.
Shut up.
Here he goes, 3rd and long. Finds him on the crossing route. And they're going to have this up at the 44-yard line as they haul him down. Well, 3rd and 15, you don't see many of those picked up, partner, but they found a way.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On 3rd down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity, and man, did he make an impact play.
Markers are reset. Here we go. Ball at the 44. Back to pass on 1st and 10. Catch made over the middle. And they get him out just before he can move those chains, partner. It's a gain of 9 on 1st down.
You know, Kate, over the years, I have heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush your passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
Only need the smallest little bit of yardage here. It is 2nd and inches. He'll look to throw. Made the throw as he was getting hit, Brock, and it's incomplete. Not on the same page with his tight end. And now it's 3rd and short.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Okay.
Pass didn't work on 2nd. Let's see how that affects this 3rd down.
Ready.
Back to throw. A little of a screen pass for Judkins. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39. 7 yards on that pickup. And that's going to be good for a Cleveland 1st down.
This dude just simply got a nose for the marker no matter how they get him the ball, Kate. Hand it to him, and he sniffs out that 1st down. Get it to him on a screen, and it's no different. He surges ahead and keeps this drive moving.
Here we go, check. 18 Cardinal, 18, go.
Throwing it again here. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
Connecting on the slant. And he's going to take this one in for the Cleveland touchdown. The Browns start the 2nd half with some needed points. Well, Brock, even with it being possibly the most popular route for teams to go to, sometimes you get it on the slants, you find yourself in the gap to turn it into much more, including what we just saw, 6 points.
All this time on task between you and I together, why do you think it's the most popular route?
Easy for the QB?
Yeah, I mean, short distance, easy for the QB, and it's also great versus man or zone. There really is not a defense that you can employ out there. When you execute it right and you execute it on time, the big plays, and sometimes like this, touchdowns will follow.
And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. He'll bring it out from a couple yards deep. Only manages to get this back to the 20 before he's taken down.
1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Falcons getting ready. Here comes 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Penix now. Completed over the middle. And we'll get him 5 yards as he gets this up to the 25.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
Offensive line, this is 2nd and 4. Here's the counter give to Robinson. And that plunge is going to garner a couple of yards. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah there to bring him down.
These are the kind of runs, Kate, that just soften up a defense. Keep working on them, keep working on them. And eventually you're going to break one of those counters for even bigger yardage.
Third and just 2 to go. Here he is on 3rd and short. Completed to his running back. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in. A 7-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Hey, Kate, they don't rightly care who it's going to go to in that situation. All they really care about are the results on 3rd down. And that's exactly the result they needed, enough to keep this drive moving.
All set to go now from the 35. They're going play fake with Penix. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. It's 3 sacks for the game so far. Brings up 2nd down.
Hey, I understand that call. You try to get play action to get away from the rush. The problem is this defense is...
Following the sack, needs some positive yards here. It is 2nd down and 18. They've got a man in motion. Throwing for the pistol, Penix. Got to it right as he threw it, and it falls to the ground.
Hate to be Mr. Negative guy, but a sack 2 plays ago, an incompletion right there. All that's missing, Kate, is an interception on this play, and you're going to hand this quarterback a misfortune trifecta that nobody wants.
No connection on the last play. Now it's 3rd down. Third and long for him here. Complete beyond the marker. He's going to get this one into enemy territory to the 47. 3rd and 18 kills most drives, right? But they find an opening and hit it to pick up the first.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. A lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
On 1st down, here's Penix. That one falls incomplete and brings us to the end of this 3rd quarter. We've reached the end of 3 in our Week 1 opener. It's the Falcons with the football. They're leading, but not by a ton. Second down, still 10 to go after that incomplete pass. And again, it's Penix. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39.
Rhythm. You hear me talk about rhythm a lot. Whether it's a golf swing, a baseball swing, heck, even a bowler gets himself into rhythm. And I'm just telling you, Kate, from experience, these little throws to running backs, it's one of the best things to get your offense into rhythm and a nice little gain on top of it.
Penix throwing, 3rd and 2. Pass complete to Robinson. And they bring him down around the 34. Give him 5 on the play. And that is good enough for Atlanta. 1st down.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve. Some call it automatic. But it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
Throwing now on 1st down. Penix has him on the quick hitter. And he's going to be brought down at the 23-yard line. It's a gain of 11 there. That picks up the first.
Kate, when Bill Walsh was implementing the drag route with the 49ers in the 80s, it sounded the same way as it did with Mike Holmgren and me with the Seahawks in the 2000s versus man on a drag route, run away. You see zone coverage, settle down, give your quarterback his numbers, and you can find a completion just like that.
All set now. 1st and 10. Going right side. Robinson with it. 2 on the pickup there, and it's going to be 2nd and 8.
Robinson, the ball carrier. Brought down by Jalen Watson. A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 22-yard line.
Penix. Brought in right side by Kincaid. And he's going to go out with a pickup of 3. So chipping away a few here ahead of this 3rd down.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
So now here's 3rd and 5. Here's Penix. Finds him over the middle. And the Browns pick it up. And they limit the damage on the return, but it is still a turnover. Look, you know I'm always trying to be positive, partner. You take away the ending, it was a great drive. Everything they were hoping for, but all that work and effort, it's gone.
And all that people are going to remember is that ending, Kate. That's all that unfortunately matters for this offense.
First call here coming from the shotgun.
Ready.
They're going to throw now, following the turnover. Caught by his running back, Judkins. And this one doesn't go far.
Kate, I don't know why every once in a while I'll get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason. But one of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league.
On the set.
Ball at the 8 now for 2nd and 8.
Here we go. Bronco 80. Ready up.
Looking in the air here. Oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. And he brings it back for the pick 6 and the Atlanta touchdown. Defense getting in on the fun, Brock, with that 4th quarter lead as they provide a nice little boost there with the pick 6.
Yeah, you could feel some of the desperation of this offense, and when you get into that mode, it is danger time. Defenses love to take advantage of it. I always say to you, Kate, play fast but never in a hurry. You can't be rushed offensively because you can often be rushed into mistakes like that.
Nevis with a point after. And the Falcons double their lead to 14.
42. Browns 28. Harrison Nevis to kick off.
Well, Brock, hopefully some short memories on offense as they get it right back here on the kickoff after that pick 6. And no return as this bounces through the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Browns, nice field position here as they start out 1st and 10. Back to the air following that pick 6. Connects on the crosser. And he's going to bring this down to their 35. It's a 30-yard gain, Brock, so unsurprisingly, that gives them a 1st down.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Taking a chance to the end zone. And they can't connect on the deep look. Still a couple of snaps to play with, though, here. We've got 2nd down. Didn't see a whole lot of room to fit that pass in, Brock. Throwing into double coverage. How's Coach going to feel about that one?
Yeah, that's a no-no. Yeah, I experienced that as a player, and now as a coach, please don't do that again.
Following the incompletion, we stay at the 35. It's 2nd and 10.
Ready?
Pass play coming here. And he's rejected at the line, as we say in the hoops. Got a hand in the passing lane up front. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
So after that prior incompletion, it's 3rd down.
Ready? Ready?
They'll throw, 3rd and long. Tight end reels in the shallow throw. And he's out of bounds before he could challenge for that marker. It's 4th down.
You get to that money down, that 3rd down, you look to your money players, and this tight end is capable of it. But let's give some credit to the defense right there. Did an amazing job not only sticking to him, but bringing him down before he can move the chains.
They're going to go for it here, trailing in the 4th.
Ready?
Desperation time here on 4th. Sends this to the end zone. And they don't get the catch they need there. Their hand was forced, Brock. Had to try and go for it, but they turn it over on downs.
Well, I think every analytics book out there, Kate, said you got to go for it. You're in 4-down territory, down a couple scores here in the 4th. But now it's all about the defense. Can the defense come with a quick turnover or a stop to somehow, some way, spark a comeback?
Hey, check. Let's go.
They'll run here on 1st down. And he's only able to get back to the line. It's going to be 2nd down.
Absolutely no fear in his game. Even one of the smaller defenders out there, he isn't afraid to go charging into all those linemen and dish out some physical play himself to make that stop.
Ready, ready.
1st down run netted him nothing. Here is 2nd and 10.
19 right.
They go play action. Here's Penix. Caught by the tight end, running that corner. And he's right up next to that 1st down. Doesn't quite get there. Gain of 9. That brings up 3rd and short.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
So that brings us to the 2-minute warning in Cleveland. Falcons looking like they'll start this season with a win.
A gain on the play. 1st down, Atlanta.
First and 10 from the 43. Here's Robinson up the middle. Shoots away from one. And that effort yields him about 3 yards there. 2nd down. Now just 4 seconds after our 2-minute warning, we've got another pause. Timeout taken by the defense.
They'll come away happy getting that type of output on most run plays. It's a sign, well, they're getting some good push up front, and this running back is seeing the lanes and paying them off.
This is 2nd and 6 coming up.
Let's go now. 72.
An option give to Robinson. They get to him behind the line block. Looks like they're going to lose a couple on that zone read. Now we get another stoppage here. Just 1:52 remaining. The defense burns a timeout.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, well, it came at the perfect time.
Third down, it's Penix. That one complete to Pitts. And he is going to have the Falcons first down. And Brock, that should clinch them this victory.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your third downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
Design quarterback run here. So the Falcons will fly home with a win on the road. And they're one of the fortunate teams to begin the season with a 1-0 record. So far, so good to begin this new campaign. This has been another edition of the NFL on EA Sports. With all our crew here and my broadcast partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. A well-earned win for the Falcons. As with that, we'll sign off from Cleveland.